Yeah, so going back to that thing, yeah, all the problems are always caused by a Stark family member of some sort. And so Civil War kind of opens that thing where we have Bucky getting woken up from things as when he's in the Winter Soldier program, kills his parents, then they go to the Lagos thing, and then the story is kind of unfolding from that point on. So I do want to kind of touch on the Sokovia Accords because I think it is probably the biggest misstep of this whole movie.
I want to touch on why they start going after Bucky. Like, right at the beginning, it's, hey, we have a picture of a guy that kind of sort of might be him walking away after a bombing. That, like, it was completely, like, it was completely set up. Like, they happened to have a snapshot of a guy.
Yeah, that maybe it was just Sebastian Stan on a movie set.
Exactly. I like to think because he's just that damn pretty.
Yeah, it just feels so set up and so forced that, hey, we need to be going after Bucky. You know, it's like, yeah, it's great that they're going after him. Good for you guys, but...
Yeah, I want to talk about that too.
Okay. Let's back up. Okay, so the end of Winter Soldier, Bucky hops in the water, saves his friend from drowning.
Right.
Lays him there, probably snuggles a little bit. You know. All right.
And
we already established he's pretty dreamy.
Yeah, exactly.
And then leaves,
probably spoons him for a little bit while he's unconscious.
No way. I would be Little Spoon every time.
Yeah.
He's like that one night stand that leaves before you get up.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then he leaves. Captain America wakes up and he's like, whoa, who did this? You know, who saved me? And then fast forward a year later and he's got the baseball cap on, so now he's...
Oh, no, the events from that movie, from Civil War, from Winter Soldier, it's a lot longer of a gap.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, like we're talking like maybe 2.5 years.
I think something like that, because he's been underground for at least 2 years is what they're saying.
Like Bucky's been slowly piecing together his life. And
yeah, his memories are triggering and coming back.
Yeah. And it's kind of an interesting thing. And going to your things, why they focus so much on Bucky, a lot of it just comes from the master plan that Zemo has for the things, that he's trying to tear the Avengers apart because of what had happened in Sokovia. And the Sokovia Accords is important to that thing because part of the whole idea is that somehow the world just gets this idea that the Avengers just take zero accountability for the casualties that happen, which, maybe they're not there, helping rebuild the city. But, if I make dinner for the family, I don't expect to do the dishes either. You know what I'm saying?
I dig it.
So if I've saved the world from world catastrophes, I'm not going to go back to what is that thing that they build homes for people?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So Habitats for Humanity. Yes, I don't expect Captain America to just put on his Habitat for Humanity t-shirt and start building homes that he ruined, So
it's like, give me a hammer and a nail, Kane.
Yeah, I just don't expect that to happen. But I don't think that, everyone just thinks that they just went back home and just have been high-fiving the whole time while they're in the Quinjet. That's just not what happened. They're clearly beaten by the whole thing.
Yeah, because you would be physically exhausted. Some people were mortally wounded. Mm-hmm. And so at that point, you just go and they probably slept for a week.
Well, not Steve Rogers, because he just recovered super quick.
Everyone.
Yeah, Iron Man. I'm sure he probably just sat in a recovery pool for 5 months.
Probably sat there like, I'm dead. Nobody talk to me. I'm dead.
So it's like they didn't just go back and start high-fiving each other. There's some psychological damage that comes in with it, and they do address it.
They addressed that in Iron Man 3 with Tony Stark.
And it's still addressed even with Tony Stark. Yeah. He's still suffering from the idea that all these world catastrophes are slightly his fault. And the problem is that Tony is too proud to admit that they're his fault. And so he's just like, we need to put ourselves in check. We need to have somebody else make the hard decisions because I'm sick and tired of having to, shoulder these things. And he just keeps sliding himself over. And so anybody that's like on Team Iron Man is just doesn't want to take responsibility for their actions. And that's the problem that I have with it, is because despite the fact that he's like, we need to put ourselves in check, he is the first person to break the Sokovia Accords repeatedly. Anytime he can put on his Iron Man suit, he does.
And slip away under the radar.
So, that's the whole thing about the Sokovia Accords, is they're completely moot. And the fact that, they came in, the Affordable Health Care Act, it's just they're just going to slam down 1,000 pages. One person flips the page, and now they're the most knowledgeable person on the Sokovia Accords, because nobody else read it at the meeting. And everyone's just like, we need to sign this. Are you kidding me? Why would you do this?
Let me get to page 2 first.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with Captain America. It's the safest hands are their own. Maybe if they would have gone back and ratified the things, said, hey, you know what, we need to have a representative from our team that says we go in and fight. Absolutely. We need to have a person from the UN that says yes, and then they need to have a randomly selected member of whatever group that they have to be a third deciding vote. That way, you don't just have this governing group of the UN that just says, no, you guys aren't going to go. No, you guys, and if you do go, we're going to throw you in prison. It's it's either a unanimous vote, or at least the Avengers have a deciding say in when we see a problem that
we'll take care of it.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing I have an issue with, is governments have agendas. They can be corruptible. I mean, the Avengers can be too, to an extent, but not all of them. Mm-hmm. And not all of them are going to be controlled by one individual.
Yeah. And there must
Hence Civil War, they weren't controlled by one individual.
You know who should lead the Sokovia Accords? Kevin Feige. He already does. Because they only come into, for Captain America movies, they assemble in Avengers movies, and they don't assemble in the standalones. Kevin Feige says, no, Hulk and Captain America and Iron Man are not going to go save London from Malekith, the Dark Elf. No, that's not going to happen. Yeah. No, Captain America's not going to help you out with the extremist Tony Stark. You're going to have to deal with it yourself.
Yeah, I that's the thing I have the issues with, is I wouldn't want to leave it in the government's hands to make decisions for, the Avengers, because they've got their own agendas, they've got their own ideas on what they want to do, and they would try to use the Avengers for whatever their agenda was, whether it be good or bad.
Yeah. And more importantly, General Ross should not be the one bringing this thing up either. That guy is corrupt as they come.
Yeah, I mean, he's the worst
talking about
one.
Mustache Man?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. He's one of the worst people that you could have trying to bring up the Sokovia Accords.
Yeah. Has a heart attack playing golf.
Yeah. Well, we haven't.
And all of a sudden now he has perspective.
I had perspective. I had a heart attack.
We haven't seen anything from him since
the Hulk
Edward
movie.
Norton's Hulk. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Since Hulk had a facelift and
yeah, which I was hoping.
and looks like the white Michael Pena.
I mean, I do like that they've got Mark Ruffalo cast as Hulk.
Yeah,
he plays it very well. But I'm so tired of them switching actors, man.
Well, they're not gonna anymore.
I think Ruffalo probably has that spot secured now, unless of course he dies, and then they're like, okay.
You can't tell a standalone Hulk movie that's going to be really good. They don't have any. They don't have any disposable villains that are going to be good enough to fill in an hour and a half or 2 hours for a Hulk movie. So.
All right. Oh, okay. Before we move on. If you could pick any new actor, I want you to look at the camera.
Okay.
Any new actor to replace Ruffalo now and play as Hulk, who would you pick? All right?
Oh, God.
At this point, I'm tired of them taking the movies really seriously. I just want to see Nicolas Cage be cast as the Hulk.
Nicolas Cage.
Don't make me angry. You won't like me when I'm angry.
All right.
I am freaking out, man.
So Nick Cage, all right?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I think it'd be good.
Seth Rogen.
Hey, he had his shot as the Green Hornet, all right?
But I want him to do the laugh
Yeah,
as
he played
he's
a
turning
green
into
something
the,
already. He's done, man.
Yeah. I want him to do the laugh as he's turning into the Hulk. But
Who should it be?
who should it be?
Hey, if we're going balls to the walls with this, I'm trying to remember his name. Who's Seth Rogen's really good buddy? They did
Jonah Hill?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I just think James Franco would be a good one. Any one of those guys.
Yeah, James Franco. Any one of those guys that was in what is this?
The Judd Apatow cast. But like I'm just picturing just a Hulk,
there you go,
a Jonah Hill as Hulk. He's just pudgy green guy.
Or Michael Cera. There you go.
Yeah, Michael Cera, this scrawny little. Oh man.